And now, the very important dudes and dudettes in film history with Matthew Price.
Very important dudes and dudettes in film history takes a look at Terrence Malick this week. That's 2 R's and 1 L if you're scoring at home. Malick's new film, Tree of Life, was at Cannes last week. It opens this week in theaters. So, we thought we'd take a closer look back at some of Malick's previous work and give you an idea why he is such a big part of the F.H in V.I.D.A.D.I.F.H. Malick started out writing screenplays, working with a bunch of no-talent goofballs like Jack Nicholson. But in the early 70s, he'd had enough of Hollywood messing up his ideas. He went out on his own to make Badlands. Sissy Spacek and Martin Sheen roam the Texas countryside while a bunch of lilting Carl Orff music plays, and they pretty much murder people. It's a goddamn masterpiece. Quentin Tarantino. There's no Quentin Tarantino without Badlands. True Romance is a remake of it on some level, right down to the Carl Orff music. Badlands also sets the bar for indie filmmaking as well. Financed independently on a shoestring budget, he takes the movie to New York City to the film festival. It sells for 3 times what it cost to make. Steven Soderbergh built his whole career on stuff like that. Paramount decided they wanted to be in the Terry Malick business. They gave him carte blanche to do whatever he wanted. Malick responded with Days of Heaven. It's a love triangle, and he pulled together 2 of the best cinematographers working in Hollywood, Nestor Almendros and Haskell Wexler. They decided to shoot most, if not all, of the movie at magic hour. So magic hour gives you about 20 minutes of light at the end of the day when the sun's gone down, but it's still lit up, everything is golden and beautiful, but you can only shoot 20 minutes a day, which meant they shot about 1 usable minute of film a day. It took them over a year to shoot and almost 2 years to edit. But the result is what many consider to be Malick's best film. Christ, look at those locusts, man. 2 years in an editing room, dragging genius out of miles and miles of footage would be enough to drive anybody to the brink. Malick decided to take some time off. He decided that 20 years would be about enough, and went to Paris and just watched his reputation grow from 1978 to 1998 as he became ever more mythic and talked about in the hushed tones most people reserve for J.D. Salinger. But at the end, he was ready to come back. Practically every actor in Hollywood lined up to work with him. The result is The Thin Red Line, the most spiritual war movie ever conceived. It's practically a Buddhist tone poem on the nature of violence in man. The New World followed just a scant 7 years later. It's a retelling of the Pocahontas story, features many typically Malickian flourishes like foregrounding dialogue, beautifully naturally lit compositions, and placid imagery of the evil man can do. Malick grew up in Waco, Texas, which is where his new movie Tree of Life is set. It's only his 5th film in a 40-year career, but it is his 3rd since 1998, and he has another one coming out next year. So at this rate, he's going to go from Salinger to John Updike, cranking out one masterpiece after another. Where Malick is concerned, the ride is far from over. Terrence Malick's new film Tree of Life opens Friday. You can see it in theaters near you, and you can see more of me, Matthew Price, at mammo.ca. And for all of us here at the Substream, we'd like to thank you for watching very important dudes and dudettes in film history.